Good morning, good noon, good evening, wherever time and place you're listening to us from, straight from the 909. It's Mark, Andre, myself, Isaiah, and together, that's hip hop. Today we're continuing our part 2 episode of celebrating 50 years of hip hop. Previously on our last episode of That's Hip Hop, we were about 2 hours in before we noticed that we weren't being recorded for half of it.
Yeah.
We said some remarkable things that we can never duplicate.
Off air, we ended up figuring out various hip hop related deaths and who did them
and how they're connected.
Yeah.
We found out we found out
to uncover all that and to actually, use our energy to do that again was really exhausting. So we decided in a collective effort to not do it.
Yeah. Correct. We unearthed a lot that last hour, but it's all good. We're still going to be able to unearth some more stuff. So.
Connecting aliens to Cash Money Records, Isaiah, genius.
That was,
I
can't even take credit for that. That was totally divine.
The Martian thing.
Oh yeah, because there was a divine intervention mid episode too.
It was incredible. The way his eyes were glowing.
I broke out into prophecy. Anyways, so today we're going to finish up. We left off on Andre. Andre left us on a cliffhanger. We didn't get to hear his 5th song, so we're gonna recap on his 5th song. We're also going to be talking about our top 5 hip hop moments. Top 5 hip hop moments, and that can be from any moment in hip hop. So we're gonna go ahead and just choose whatever that moment is for us. That's inspired us or influenced us.
Emphasis on moments with us.
Yeah, with us, right. And if you guys have any top hip hop moments, feel free to leave those into the comments, or if you related to one of our moments that we choose, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, those ones we'll criticize.
Yeah,
fully.
We'll look at it, print it out, analyze it,
print it out.
So then on top of that, we're going to list our top MC bars / punchlines. So whichever we want, if we're going to go just bars on that or punchlines, whatever top 5 MC verse bars, punchlines that have influenced us, we're going to talk about those. And so this episode is going to be pretty crazy because I have no idea what the heck you guys are going to choose. I think the MC influential thing was kind of a little bit more, at least a little bit more predictable. This one's going to be very tough for me to know what you guys are going to choose. So looking forward to that. So we're going to go into Andre's 5th song.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I don't even know where I left off, but I do know that my 5th song was Hello by Elzai from his album Lead Poison. And the reason I brought this song into the mix is because it's the only song of its kind that I've ever heard where the song itself is actually trying to communicate with you. So as you listen to it, it's Elzai, taking the position of the song itself. And he's got so many layers in the song, it's unbelievable. One layer is you're not listening to the song at all because nobody listens to rap all the way. You hear the beat and you hear nothing else. You don't hear what's really happening in the song. And then his perspective as someone writing from the perspective of the song, he took this angle of talking from being the letters themselves to actually being the instrumental itself. And all the layers, I swear, he's talking about us as listeners. He's talking about the whole rap game completely from his perspective. And he's also talking about a song in general, how a song can either just be left on loop with no context. And the song even itself is please don't leave me on loop. Listen to me, So I had never heard a song like that before, and I had to add it to the list. And then it's one of Elzai's best written songs, honestly. And then I kind of had the honorable mention of COVID-24. Just because I haven't seen anybody connect those dots so perfectly. The running with the same scheme for 10 minutes straight and then connecting Kobe Bryant to COVID virus was it was perfect. He found a way to match Corona with Crown, and the crown goes to King, and then the crown is gold like the Lakers, and purple and gold.
Mark, you heard that song?
No,
but it's such a good.
It's incredible.
Such a good song.
But I like the idea that you get when you're writing as an MC. Once you start writing about a topic, this rush of endorphin starts coming to you as you write, because you start finding the combos within those within the subject matter.
That's exactly what he said too.
That's the best thing.
He started only with COVID virus, right? He just said he wanted to rhyme COVID virus as long as he could, right? And then he said, as he got along the work, he said it happened naturally. It was like Kobe Bryant. And then he said, wait, Kobe Bryant actually is connected to this date and during COVID, and this date during COVID is connected to, and he did all the connections.
Brilliant.
So it's like a
song.
cannabis, it's like an ideal cannabis song. That's what it feels
The
like.
way he kept that and how he held that for the final, final punch was just amazing.
He's got concept of numerology. He's got concepts of everything. I mean, he's doing everything in the song. So yeah, that one's definitely great. But I still feel like Hello beats that in some areas because I have never heard a song like that before. Yeah. It can't be duplicated.
Do you have like a term for that when you talk to your students about getting, like when you have related subject matter that ends up being used later in bars like that? The word that came to mind to me was combos. Like if I, start a bar related to, going back to the Lakers or whatever, and then, you use different players, you do, like
associations. I call those associations because it's like putting all the cousins together, So yeah, we're going off COVID, and then he's gonna relate like these dates. COVID's like Corona means crown, and then he's gonna find all these connections to crown and gold and kingship and the Queen of England, all this, and then somehow he bridged this to Kobe Bryant and all of the connections from Lakers, King James, all these things just come back. It's like it was crazy. So yeah, it was like a great combination of like some cannabis conspiracy shit, but also a well executed written song. So yeah,
cousins are the bars.
I've never heard somebody.
Song is the barbecue.
How do you embody like a whole period in time like that? Because not only did his verse that he write it about COVID and whatnot, but the beat, like it was embedded in the beat itself. Yeah. The COVID dark sound, like the sound of it sounded like a pandemic, which is just amazing. Amazing to encapsulate that all into like one track.
And it's not crazy. It's not you know how cats can abuse a rhyme and sacrifice like meaning because they're just rhyming. He did not sacrifice any meaning. Everything makes sense. So it's like I can't even be mad. He even like got Kobe's jersey number to affiliate with certain things. So it was crazy, man.
That's a good position to be in as an MC because you actually can string the audience along because you know how good you can have the song proceed instead of giving them the onslaught of the lyrics.
Yeah.
You can actually just like you have a bigger canvas to paint on essentially instead of going all crazy on a little 8x10 or something.
Yeah.
And then to rhyme something for 10 minutes is already crazy. So
exactly.
The same scheme, 10 minutes is crazy. So that's just beautiful. Beautiful work. But yeah, that was definitely my runner up or my, my honorable mention.
The way you guys are mentioning it, like I could feel your guys' like enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, you got to hear it, man.
And it's just giving me all the motivation to listen to it off air.
Oh yeah. That shit fire.
That's a dub, Andre. All right. So now we're going to go into we'll start with our top 5 moments on this one. I feel like the bars is going to be a special cherry on top to this episode. So we'll start with our top 5 moments into hip hop. Any of you guys want to go first?
I'll roll off. Yeah, I'll get the ball rolling.
All right.
So you want me to just run all 5 or just?
Yeah, just do all 5.
All right. So initially, I had Big and Pac's passing. I mean, the West Coast, I was going to say East and West Coast beef, but really it was Big and Pac's passing that in my personal life affected me. Because they died so soon around one another and what they meant at the time. I remember as a kid just going, wow, like a hero is gone, right? And then when Pac was gone, it's like, damn, that's it. And then Biggie dies, it's like, whoa, both heroes are gone. And what really could have happened was the East and the West could have like really turned into a war even further, or we could have imploded on both sides. But what amazingly happened was a form of balance. No disrespect to their deaths. It really felt like people woke up and got the ball rolling. And then we started to see more artists emerge. And then we get the door open for like Snoop. And then the door opens over on the East Coast for like Jay-Z. And then you see, a whole new culture get birthed. So I feel like when Big and Pac passed away, it was like these invulnerable figures both passed away. And that could have collapsed a huge majority of hip hop. And I feel like it invigorated it in a weird way. And I felt like everybody wanted to just kind of carry on their legacy from their perspective. It didn't make the East and West Coast war worse. It kind of brought light to it. So definitely.
So it was an unfortunate power vacuum of 2 icons. With that power vacuum, you ended up having people, instead of saying, I'm going to be the next such and such, they were just saying, hey, look, I know I have to step it up because Big's gone. I have to step it up because Pac's no longer with us.
Yeah.
So it's the unfortunate power vacuum that you get. And I use that analogy too, because it's kind of like the same thing that you, like if the Don dies, you know, the made man, everything just power vacuums up to see who can take this role on. Yeah. And essentially it's not a role that no one's going to replace Pac, no one's going to replace Biggie, but it's a matter of, hey, we have to take on these, we have to take on this empty area. We have to occupy this space.
The iron's still hot, technically. Yeah. And it could have cooled down and we could have just kind of lost these icons and, you know, it would have been what it was. But I really feel like another level was introduced after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything.
I didn't know how to process it because it happened when we were young. I didn't know really how to process it. I wasn't rapping yet or nothing like that. So, but I listened to Pac. Obviously, my brother listened to Pac a lot. I listened to Big, and I know they were so huge, big figures. They basically ran the coasts, and their passing was. You know, when we see a rapper pass today, it's like you see this phenomenon of like people like over like, oh, I was a fan and they never were or whatever. Yeah. But at this stage, I remember, you know, a lot of people, including myself, you know, deeming these two as the best to ever do it. Yeah. You know, whether that was, Biggie was the best rapper or Pac was the best rapper. You know, I liked that that's been challenged now, because at first when I was growing up, I thought Pac was it. I thought Pac was,
I mean, but we, you know, pre-internet technically, I guess. So, you know, we have our superhero per coast. Mm-hmm. Anybody on the East Coast is going to tell you Biggie was running the shit, right? And everybody on the West is going to say Pac has something in there. So, and then, you know, if you were to talk to me and Mark, you'd be like, who would you pick? I would pick Pac, he would pick Big. So it doesn't matter. It's really more so at that time, they were like the superheroes, man. So to see these pillars fall was, especially at my age, I was like, damn, you could die. Yeah. Like, I don't know why that sounds stupid. Yeah. There's other rappers that have passed, but seeing Pac die was like, Pac can't die, right? You know, as a kid. So I do remember that. That really changed the game, I think, in a huge way. Big impact.
You know, also, too, I think what we're fortunate enough is that we, growing up to this, we learned a lesson out of it. Yeah. You know, even though we weren't living that, we saw through them the lessons to be taken away from that in hip hop. Yeah. You know, where does beef ultimately end up? Yes. MF Doom really articulated that so well about beef. And then now, you know, there's a lot of young rappers who don't know that lesson. And we see it repeated in them acting like Tupac, you know, acting very like outlandish, you know, saying, oh, there's no test my gangsta and all these kind of different things like that. And we've seen it in the past. We're like, that seems familiar to somebody we used to know. So that's something that I think that we're fortunate to grow up during that period, because we actually took that away in as far as in hip hop, what beef is. Yeah.
And then just to kind of wrap it up and go to the next one, it's like, you know, this was kind of pre-internet, so their deaths really mattered. I don't know how to explain it better than that, and I'm not talking down on any deaths that we've had in the past 5 or 6 years. I'm saying when, you know, culturally, when Pac passed away, we felt a vibration. Yeah, we moved.
It's like Jay-Z passing away today.
It's heavy. Like it's a heavy move. It's like the vibration was big. There was a state of mourning on the West Coast, and then we got back on our feet and kept going. There was a state of mourning on the East Coast, and then we got back on our feet. So yeah, that was big. Today, though, I feel like deaths don't anchor in as deeply as they used to. Maybe because we have a grieving process and we made it faster. You know what I'm saying? Back then, when Pac died, it was like I have no process for this, right? Mm-hmm. So nowadays, I feel like it's just almost, unfortunately, kind of a process to it. So my next one, since we're, you know, doing back and forths, I did Ye versus 50. Ooh. Now, Ye versus 50 was really big culturally because this was the artist versus the gangster, right? And to some, you know, people felt like if Ye wins this, then artistry wins hip hop.
Or the baton is being passed or something like that. Yeah.
But if 50 continues his reign, then gangster rap will continue, right? Dang. So I remember, I remember, no, it was huge. This was a huge one. I went for Ye's side. I mean, Graduation versus Curtis, bro. Like, come on, bro. There is no contest. So Graduation, it was Graduation versus Curtis, and they dropped on the same day. And I believe they were like, who has the highest first week sales essentially wins their beef back and forth.
Right.
But culturally, it was the artist versus the rapper, right? Or the rapper producer, right? Which was kind of rare. I mean, I won't say kind of rare. It was like, Ye was that weird combination that we couldn't embrace all the way till this point. Yeah. But Graduation is that blossom. Like this is the point where he's gonna kill this shit, right? This is one of his best albums. Then Dark Twisted Fantasy comes out. But yeah, after 808s. But so yeah, Graduation comes out, and I remember because I was in Atlanta at the time, I was at Morehouse. Everybody in Atlanta was bumping this album. First of all, that makes no sense to me. Atlanta is Atlanta, bro. They're bumping Southern shit. That's it. So everybody is bumping Graduation. I mean, that song, everywhere you could go in Atlanta, that song was playing, bro. In stores, in restaurants, bro.
Dream I could buy my way to heaven.
Everywhere, bro. Everywhere. So I didn't hear 50 nowhere, bro. So that was just obvious. If Atlanta culturally, that's why it impacted me. I was in Atlanta. That's like a neutral ground almost, because they only bump like Pastor Troy, fucking Gucci Mane, like Southern shit, you know? So when this happened, it was like, oh my God, Kanye actually dropped an artsy record, and the hood loves it. The hood is embracing an artsy rap, you know? It worked perfectly. So yeah, that was a huge impact culturally. And then that was kind of, we won't say the end of 50's reign, but 50 definitely had to take a step back to what Ye was doing to the culture, man. Yeah. Got it, man. That's a good pivotal, one. Man. Yeah. So yeah, Ye versus 50, awesome. All Eminem beefs.
Yeah.
Every beef with Eminem. Every beef with Eminem, to me, it was to me the going up against Mayweather type of situation, right? Yeah. Where it's like, okay, this guy might have the potential to punch Mayweather and take him down. Maybe. We'll see what happens.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Right. We are optimistic that maybe somebody can take him down, right? But every attempt I've seen from fucking Everlast to Cannabis to Benzino has just been undercooked. It's like, and that's no disrespect to anybody he's battled, but it's like M set a new standard per battle, right? Per MC he went against. Benzino shit was trash, and Eminem like demolished him with throwaway shit, like shit that wasn't even on his level. He got Busta Rhymes involved, man. Even recently, Melly Mel. I'm like, Melly Mel's, damn, that shit was awful. I can't be, it's Melly Mel, you know? But that reply that he sent to M recently was just, MGK.
He knew what he was up against.
MGK did his best, man.
MGK had the closest, like.
MGK literally fulfilled his destiny. He called himself Rap Devil and literally got banished from rap and went to another genre, bro. Like, he looking like Kratos, man. He got sent to Norse mythology.
He was like in the movie 300 where Leonidas throws a spear and gets like the lip.
Just enough of it.
Was the closest
just enough
to
of
get
it.
Close to.
Except
he's more like the dude with the fucked up shoulder and dined out all the Spartans. But he had his moment in time where you remember the chicks were with him because Xerxes gave him all that.
I guess that's more accurate. Yeah, I guess that's more accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because him being close in comparison like that, no, bro.
Well,
like
as far as like bars is concerned, he had facts, but
yeah.
Even that, the way he spit them,
he didn't structure them properly.
The delivery was not in comparison.
Right, in comparison, it was just like whatever. But man, yeah, anybody that went up against M, to me, also, it's not about the beef itself.
That's a good analogy.
It's not about the beef though.
On Xerxes.
It's not about the beef. It's about the attempts, man. Yeah, everybody tried something against M, and M's returns were always just like, well, that's it. There's no fucking way it's like a one-punch knockout, bro. And they don't get back up. It's like One Punch Man. If anybody watched the anime One Punch Man, somebody's like wailing on this Saitama for like an hour, and he does this, and he's gone. The end of his life. So yeah, that anything with Eminem's beefs, I feel like his beefs were tasteful in a sense. You know, he wasn't talking about. I mean, he was talking about murdering and killing you and shit. But I'm just saying, Eminem outwrote you. He out-teched you. Right, so you can't say that he sucks at what he is as an MC.
And the thing is, he grabs everything you say, every little comment, and he flips it back on you. Like, he did it with Melly Mel. He's done it all the way back. He does that,
and that is a great note of an MC. Yeah, and also, I mean, there's just certain limitations that M has as a writer against his opponents that he still wins with. So Give that to M, man.
Oh,
So
sick.
M definitely, his beefs were very just amazing, entertaining. Number 4, WRC to KOTD. So World Rap Championships in the year 2006. There was a website called jumpoff.tv. On this website were a series of battles. There's this tournament called World Rap Championships, right? And they were battling in Los Angeles and Europe, somewhere in Europe, right? So we had LA and Europe, right? And they were going to do a tournament to get the best Americans and the best Europeans and have them go head to head. And it's all freestyle. The whole competition's freestyle, no beats. Now, this is big because Scribble Jam was more about beats. This was like post Scribble Jam shit. Scribble Jam battles was you got a beat on and talk about your family, right? This was more like acapella shit, and it's off the head. And it's two versus two on some Marvel versus Capcom shit. So it's me and Mark versus you and an opponent, and we got to go head to head. 3 rounds, 30 seconds, I think. So the first year was World Rap Championships 2006, and this was the introduction to some of the greatest freestylers on the planet, man. Really, really, some of the greatest freestyles I've ever seen in my life. Just incredible work. We end up getting these battlers, Thesaurus and Ilmac from America, going up against Possessed and What's His Face in Europe. They battled it out in Vegas, and it was an incredible battle, head to head on the roof. They were on the roof battling. Amazing, great battle.
But the previous round, someone uppercutted them up there to the roof.
like Mortal Kombat.
Ready.
Brought him down to hell like Scorpion.
Exactly, bro. So,
I thought you said Ermac.
Ermac was there. Ermac was there.
I was like,
Ermac was there just watching. Of course, America takes this one, and it went so well that they made WRC 07. WRC 07 expanded and did more American places and more European places. So we had Los Angeles, Texas, Detroit, New York, and I think Canada. I don't know what. I think Canada was like its own thing. And then we had a bunch of spots in Europe that would be similar in fashion. So all these guys come in, and these guys are even better. Like they just took it a whole nother notch. All freestyle once again. So we get some of the best artists in the world. We get, once again, in the finals, we get Ilmac and Thesaurus going against, another, I think a British group. It was them versus the British group, and they end up taking it. But unfortunately, in this situation, I'll keep it short, guys. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Because it leads to history. This is a big historic moment. So WRC 07, in the fucking finals, guys, in the finals of this shit, first of all, this hasn't happened yet. We don't have recorded rap battles in this fashion. These fuckers got mad that they lost the battle in the tournament on the last set, and they stole the tapes.
Wow.
So all the evidence of it actually going down was legitimately stolen.
Dang.
So that's the end of Jump Off TV. After the end of this, WRC 07, Thesaurus and Ilmac win. The Americans, Thesaurus and Ilmac, this duo, they win 06 and 07. They win both.
They back to back,
and
that's
that's impossible.
Yeah,
They're
that is
fucking.
sick.
They had to go up against way more people, and they killed it. Won that
Oh
shit.
yeah, because there's more regions now.
Yes, and they took them down, bro. They were
I
fucking
didn't even
incredible.
know all this was going on. Like,
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't
Yeah,
know
this
that.
was underground shit, man. Jump Off TV was like an underground site. It had all the dope mixtapes and everything on there, whatever. So after the 07 event, unfortunately, they lost a lot of fucking money because these people stole their tapes. So Jump Off TV, unfortunately, goes away. We lose WRC, and that was one of the most innovative battle systems we had. Then eventually we get Grind Time TV, which was derived of all the people that were in those tournaments. So we get Grind Time TV, or Grind Time Now. And basically that's the YouTube run, and then we're doing acapella rap battles now. That's the beginning of the acapella rap situation. Dude, as we blossom, we go from Grind Time Now to Grind Time Now like in every other fucking country. Then we get King of the Dot. For some reason, King of the Dot just usurps everything, and now they're the main guys. But King of the Dot now runs culturally all of the best battles.
So that's where I came in. I came in at King
of the Dot, and URL's been there the whole time, but URL doesn't fit in the WRC line to me. Like that was its own world, but URL was like, it was always there, but it wasn't, what this was. WRC was really kind of nerdy. It was almost you had every race in there. URL battles felt very our culture, black. I don't want nothing else. Street shit, street bars, guns, right? Whereas this other era felt like they were doing Pokemon references and like nerdy shit. So we got to see the street and we got to see the nerd come together with this new era. So King of the Dot is the neutral ground, though. King of the Dot is like the dead center of everything of what they were doing. So now King of the Dot is running everything. Drake's even involved now with King of the Dot. He's like holding it down.
Oh, I think I've
with
heard
caffeine.
Either he was there or he forked up some money.
He actually has portions of it. He runs it through Caffeine. Caffeine's a streaming service. But anyway, long story short, this battle culture has changed all of rap itself.
Yes.
The wordplay shit that you guys hear, the doubles, the triples, the quintuple entendres.
I like how they become events now. Like events, like almost like pay-per-view events or something.
It's the new wrestling.
Yeah,
it's the new wrestling. It's verbal wrestling all the way. It's so good. Like, that's what I watch.
And they're raising the level on these battles too. Like being able to memorize these whatever they wrote down. Like and not only just memorizing that, but also going off the head too. So they're like mixing it. Like,
no. Oh, well, I mean, because we'll say Dub RC was all freestyle in that earlier period. And then Grind Time now was half freestyle, half written. And then King of the Dot and URL now, it's all written and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it's cool.
But it's like the newest pins, though. It's like the newest technology.
Yeah.
It's like the new Kung Fu.
If you're trying to listen for like the newest styles of rap, like you want to check out the battle scene, like the way people break down their bars.
Yeah.
You get a big head start if you want to take a few like skills and technique in the terms of like, hey, what's clever here?
And there's some of the best I've heard
in the world.
In battle.
In the world.
Like some of the best.
Yeah, in the world. Yeah. Incredible MCs. So Dub RC to King of the Dot. So World Rap Champions to King of the Dot is very historic in my understanding, because if we never had World Rap Championships, we never would have any of the rap battle shit today.
I see.
And I organically found this shit, man.
I love what we have today.
Yeah,
I love what's going on.
A whole new level, man. Yeah. Even Disaster. Like, Disaster is one of my favorites.
Yep.
He started in Dub RC. Well, he didn't start in Dub RC. He's actually battled before that, like in Scribble Jam and all the other shit in the LA scene. But Dub RC was like this big moment where it's like he started in a very bad position and then he, over time, became unbeatable. So, my last one, and I'll shut the hell up, guys.
No, you're good.
Because the Internet by Childish Gambino. I already talked about it last episode. Because the Internet, to me, was a cultural event, even though nobody really will agree with me.
Nobody will agree.
No, for real. I mean, I think nobody will agree with me. Because the Internet is such a cultural event, because he took the medium to a place that no other rap artist in the world has ever attempted to prior. He wrote a movie script and designed a website with the movie script on it, with hidden embedded information in the website, just for you to listen to and find, right? And the whole year that this album had came out, he was in the character of the person that's in this album. So we didn't talk to Donald Glover for a year. We talked to the boy, the character from this album, Because the Internet. Yeah. He's Rick Ross's son. He's rich as fuck. He has everything he wants. And he's doing whatever he wants. He's just living that life. But he's stuck in an endless cycle and he can't break out of it, right? So when you watch all of his interviews, he's giving you more insight into the album. So every interview counts now. You have to look at his interviews to get more pieces of the puzzle to this album.
Because he's remaining in character.
Yes, he's still, and he wears the same outfit every time you see him to confirm he's in that character. So that whole year, he's given you so much information behind this shit, with the script, with the movie, with the like all this extra shit, videos, all of it comes down. And this whole marketing run was something it can't be done again. It's impossible. Initially just the adventure of going on the site, trying to figure out what the fuck he's talking about, what's even going on, what the story even means. He breaks everything down with visuals. It was just an adventure, something I had never seen before. And I think the closest I saw as a follow-up was like The Weeknd do it. The Weeknd was doing it. Maybe Frank Ocean, maybe. And I'm guessing on Frank Ocean, but I know The Weeknd for sure. He was in a persona, a character for his whole album run, which was the one of his nose bleeding, I think. He was just in character the whole fucking time. He always had his nose bandaged up and looking crazy. That's the only thing I saw after him do this shit.
So that wasn't a real injury?
No, he was in persona. Like, he was in a nightmare. He was in an endless nightmare.
I remember seeing that, but I thought that was like a real injury.
No, that was like a horror album. The whole album is horror, so he's like stuck in some nightmare that he can't get out of. So that's why he had a fucking installment at Universal Studios, man.
Oh yeah, he had a maze for that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, The Weeknd had a nightmare.
So the Weeknd had a horror maze over at. I did the one in Orlando, and then I did the one a week later in Hollywood. Big difference, by the way, but Yeah, it
difference.
was cool. It was cool
Cheaper.
because it was like the
So the maze is all about his album, or
yeah,
is it about
his girl is
Yeah.
like a nightmare woman, so it's like
that's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, because the internet was like, I felt like he was doing a version of Because the Internet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you ever check it out, you could check all the interviews in the Because the Internet run. I'm sure somebody online did the work already.
Yeah.
So that just look it up, and they like look up compilation of the boy Donald Glover or whatever, and you'll find all of him in character. It's crazy how much work went into one fucking album. So yeah, Because the Internet was a cultural event to me.
Sick. Dubs across.
Let's go.
You want to go or you want me to go, Mark?
yeah. I'll go real quick.
Zay's all he's still writing his shit.
I know he's like, hey,
I'm
Joe.
adjusting it as Andre's talking. I'm like,
Yo.
maybe I should add
He
this.
just,
Take
he
your
just
time.
says mine all over again. He does
Just
a combination.
1
of,
second. All right, I'm ready.
The battle scene.
I was gonna say actually all that. So thanks for covering it. So hip hop moments to me are gonna be things that, like Andre's moments, are gonna be stuff that affected me on a personal level and stuff that I found really memorable. With that being said, the first one I have on the docket here is the BET Cyphers. So the BET Cyphers, freestyle or not, whatever, brought a lot of hip hop royalty, past, present, future, available all together. Sometimes, depends on the lineup. I remember seeing some as early as Lupe and Papoose do one. And then I end up seeing one with Black Thought, Most Def, and Nicki Minaj ends up being in one too.
Those were nice. Those fucking
Slaughterhouse, and who could forget Eminem's. After he did that BET Cypher one, two things were made apparent. Eminem is back, but Eminem never left lyrically.
Is that the one where he talks about like Trump and stuff, or is that a different one?
No, it's the one where it's in black and white. He starts off with like lyrical spiritual supernet in your swimming pool.
With Joe Budden
And
was
but
in it.
then
the
he was like, then he comes off with this multi later on. He's like, it came across the news that Pasta News was caught with a prostitute with two something.
Two prostitutes, a popsicle.
Yeah, some Johnson and Johnson lube with and it was just
a squad of boobs.
yeah. So it was a lot of multis. It was a lot of just finding out that Eminem is back in rare form.
Yeah.
It's like when Cell realizes he's complete and perfect Cell form. And he was just going like, how like Cell in the beginning, like finds out like, oh shit, yeah, I'm
trying to
perfect Cell
remember
now.
during that time,
That's Eminem.
Was he gone for a while before that time, or
Little brief hiatus.
Yeah, and then just the freestyle itself just felt like something he wouldn't do.
Yeah.
So when he popped up, it was like, oh shit,
That was a
here.
crazy surprise because it was him, Yellow Wolf, Slaughterhouse. Even had bars that complimented Yellow Wolf, Slaughterhouse as well.
I think Busta was involved. I mean, we had not in that same freestyle,
Yeah,
but Busta was part of those freestyles.
Yeah.
Some of the best ones, man. Big Sean had a cold one. Wayne had one, I think, if I'm right. Some good shit, man.
The other ones that another hip hop moment that I mentioned, hip hop goes Hollywood. I like the fact that Pac had his shine, actually finding out that he was a really good actor. Actually, one controversial take that I felt in unison with was our brother from another, Ali, actually says that Pac would have been a better actor than rapper. He says that to an extent, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of agree with that, to where Pac, started off on the theatrical tip before he even started rapping. Yeah. There's a lot of interviews of him just doing interviews like that before you even think that he's going to do music. And
isn't it weird too? Because it was like seeing him as a rapper on screen. We already had stereotypes of what rappers were.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't act. You're a rapper, right?
Yeah.
And it's like before we were all multifaceted, right?
What's interesting with that is like he kind of created that Tupac persona on screen, actually. Like doing one of these roles, he then took that into real life and became that.
Yeah,
just
Like, oh, so
interesting.
you're talking like Juice,
Bishop and
Yeah.
Juice,
Bishop
and,
and Juice,
and Above the Rim.
Yeah.
Poetic Justice is like,
Poetic
it still
Poetic
counts.
Justice as
Poetic
well.
Justice still counts.
The other thing I wanted to mention too was the fact that the Fat Boys had a couple of they had the one movie Disorderlies. So the Fat Boys actually ended up doing that a lot earlier. I also remember one of the Fat Boys actually shows up on an episode of Miami Vice beatboxing, doing the Doing that. Hip Hop Goes Hollywood. You know, you end up getting people like Mos Def showing that he has really good acting chops. Actually gets a supporting role in The Italian Job.
He was an actor before rapper.
Yes,
right?
he actually was. He did the Cosby Show mysteries. He did a pilot for like a short-lived series that didn't. I think it went like 3 or 4 episodes on the UPN, if I'm not mistaken. And then, I don't know if we're going to be mixing the timeline of urban thermodynamics then his acting career, but a lot of people say that he acted before that. So people in the chat are going to get like dates and times right. So we'll get corrected shortly. By the way, we are on the road to 200 subscribers. We need 2 more people. We're at 198 right now.
Let's go.
So the Hip Hop Goes Hollywood. That's what I like about it. And I enjoy the idea that like you end up finding out who actually can become more multifaceted as they age in their career. You know, Cube
definitely.
Sometimes
is a great
we look at
example. Cube is a really great example.
Sometimes we look at Ice Cube as an actor beforehand now, but that's how amazingly talented he is.
But
multifaceted.
Can we just dive into the idea that, you know, I was always told by my family members that they like Cube wrote movies with his rap songs to their knowledge, you know.
True.
So for him to elevate into actual film and have his pen on that, to me, that's really important. Barbershop, it's a great series. Friday series is incredible. Even the dumb shit that he did, you know, with the Are We There Yet and all that, I feel like it shows diversity in every direction. I look at Cube as dark and light, right? So he did his dark roles and he did his light roles. The kid joints is, you know, they are what they are. Yeah. I've seen them, so it is what it is. But yeah, I feel like Cube is a great idea of a great MC, a great writer being brought into the movie space. Maybe Kendrick will write a movie one day, you know, but that's the same feeling. Like if Kendrick is a movie director now, you know,
we're waiting for the Kendrick, the whole, that's the one thing that we were actually making the parallels with, that, you know, Kendrick actually is the rapper that should be an actor already. Going further into my list, I want to give props to this lineup. Rock the Bells 2008. I was there live in effect.
Those are great moments.
That lineup is almost perfect, and it's going to be one of those Halley's Comet moments where not a lot of people are going to be in that similar circle
and you're
ever
talking
again.
About prime, everybody in their prime too.
You have headlining was A Tribe Called Quest, which I had to knock off my list. Ended up meeting them. That's the year I ended up meeting them. Nas, Mos Def, Method Man, Redman together, Raekwon and Ghostface before that too, De La Soul, Rakim, MF Doom, Immortal Technique, Dead Prez, Murs, Spank Rock, Sage Francis. Further down the list, the Cool Kids show up. They had their little cup of coffee in the big
Jay
time.
Electronica,
Africa Bambaataa, Kids in the Hall, B.O.B., the Far Side show up on the other stage. But this is the MF Doom. This is where we end up finding out that MF Doom used a doppelganger. That's one of the ones where I was just like, wait, what? Like, Doom barely showed up. Like, what's going on? They end up finding a doppelganger. It was hard to top this one because last year Public Enemy shows up in 2007. So I wanted to see Public Enemy live. I know Rakim showed up at the next one. But Rock the Bells 2008, it was, you know, it's this Halley's Comet moment for me in San Bernardino, California, where I was able to knock a lot of people off my list of watching live. You know, I was able to watch Rakim live in effect. That's beautiful. To me, that was just like full circle, along with A Tribe Called Quest. Because at this point, we kind of know that Fife and them aren't really getting along. You end up finding more about that during this Tribe Called Quest documentary that actually documented the 2008 Rock the Bells event.
Really?
Yeah. And there's a lot of good backstage footage with that. And I'm just like, oh crap, like that's the VIP area. That's like, this is all this stuff that connects with me too, because that's where I ended up getting that album signed from them. So that Rock the Bells 2008, peace to the good people at Gorilla Union. I don't know what they're doing anymore, but I think Rock the Bells officially went to LL Cool J now, because now he's doing his own thing of Rock the Bells. And this is so dated of 2008 that one of the sponsors is SanDisk. For all your memory needs. You know what, Sandis? You can come to us and get a sponsorship. I think.
Yeah, we're looking for sponsors right now, so that would be good.
So the next thing that I have listed for people that need to get debriefed on actually having knowledge on to who's going to be up and coming, who may be up and coming. I like how what I'm going to mention matches parallels of sports drafts. The XXL Freshman Class series. Anytime XXL, I think at the beginning of the year, they'll do their freshman class where they'll introduce a slew of rappers that they feel are going to be the next big thing. So in similar fashion to the NBA draft, you have your NBA busts,
So
and then
this
you
is
have
still,
your dark
This
horses.
is still a thing? I didn't know about
Yeah,
that.
they're still doing it.
shit.
And
That's dope.
the freshman class ended up highlighting people like Kid Cudi, Kendrick Lamar, a lot of people along the way.
Yeah.
But like you end up seeing, if you end up picking up a freshman class series from back in the day, or even like years after, you're like, whatever happened to him? What happened to him?
That's crazy.
Like, but
it's still
But
just they're like anchors.
But that's
Yeah.
how it really is in the NBA draft.
Right.
Or whatever,
Yeah.
right. And these are going to be the similar, these are going to hold similar weights as if you have the Sports Illustrated issues with LeBron on the cover
Right.
when he's in high school.
Right.
If you have the freshman class, front cover with Kendrick on it and you get it signed by him and a couple other people on there, you get that thing slabbed. You got a piece of history.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we may be onto something. I'm going to end up finding a bunch of the freshman class stuff and start grading them. Because if they're grading
That'd be
comic
sick.
books,
They
That'd be
are.
sick.
You're right. Hey,
actually get it signed and then grade it.
that's nice.
I think we may be onto something there.
We'll copyright that.
That's our racket. Finishing off my top 5 hip hop moments. This was really influential to us being in Southern California, and I think of Southern California as like the sponge of influence. This highway of sorts where people come from all walks of life, but they always intersect, and it happens at every level. It happens at the college, it happens in at schools, and even at work, wherever. Mm-hmm. But I think that the Bling Bling era that was around when we were in even just junior high school came and went nuts. You couldn't go anywhere without dudes rocking, like in high school,
Yeah.
and in junior high school, fake ice, fake Jacob the jeweler watches,
So it's cubic
The
zirconia.
big shirts with the
your shakas, your pro clubs, your triple A's, your pro fives,
Yeah, fucking profile.
the shakas that look, I got a new shaka on. It's
so
choking my neck.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing-
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that even
that was a thing.
so the Bling Bling era, with Juvenile, BG, Big Timers, even
Soulja
bringing
Boy.
dope, Jaquan. Jaquan can count. He's
Yeah,
kind of
he's-
like,
he's cool.
he's like the after effect of it. But but man, you even bring out dope producers like Manny Fresh. I bug these guys at nauseum, and we play the Back That Ass Up instrumental.
Yeah. It's a masterpiece.
But you hear it
Right.
without, and no disrespect to Juvie, like no disrespect, but that beat,
It's just a good ass beat.
It's an
it
amazing
is
beat.
when the breakdown
Amazing.
comes in, bro. Like I'm getting goosebumps
There's
talking
much
about
more
it.
happening than we actually realize in that
Yeah,
beat. There's much
yeah.
more going on.
I want to say, and I want to pass this to you guys too, because we all share the same moment here. Not in our top 5, but it's like, we were all part of this mix, but it's
yeah.
like we couldn't go anywhere without like just, dude, parties were amplified
Yeah. As
soon as
because of the
that
Bling Bling
track
era.
It took cool to another level.
and not
Like it elevated cool.
yeah, because then you had to figure out a way to top that.
Yeah.
I believe that despite the fact that the lyrical content wasn't there for some people, but it still prompted people to put on a show, to put on like how much more of a spectacle can I make this? Like it makes concerts fun. It makes it brings up a new level of enthusiasm to make hip hop better.
Yeah.
It's one of those tracks for sure. You barely put that on the beginning of that. Boom,
And it's violins
And
too.
That's the track that you can put on at any party. Any party. You put on the first 5 seconds of that. that beat, I remember at certain parties, you know, that when that came on, because before that, I don't remember what
That's
track.
Flies to the Light, baby.
I don't remember what track.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't remember what track before that where, you know, like, you know, where ladies were hooking up and like grinding in a way like before that. I don't know what track ever
That Infectious
that happened until that track happened. Then that's when that started happening going forward.
It was ignorance for
It
us.
definitely
man.
was
Yeah, as soon as the
ignorance, for
song
sure.
started, it was ignorance.
This is
Just
adolescence,
ignorance.
ignorance.
I
you
wanted
know,
to be at a Freaknik and that thing comes on.
But that's the thing. It's like I don't
That would've been
remember.
it.
I don't remember a track before that was happening, other than maybe like This Is How We Do It or something. Maybe, but that wasn't even close to the level of what.
Even
That's how, like if everybody will like go crazy when they hear the beat start, but it still don't make them move like that one.
So even with songs, the two that come to mind, and this is me just like really doing a quick gloss over, Two Live Crew's Me So Horny. The thing is that the things you won't be able to get that played a lot because of how like vulgar it is. Same thing. Well, Rex and Effects Rump Shaker, produced by Pharrell, by the way, is a catchy ass shaking song, but it's really more about rap.
Right.
There's really not a lot of most of the verses, like Teddy Riley ends up having a verse in it and everything, but it's just dudes that are just briefly talking about the dance of a rump shake, you know. It's but with Juvenile's cut, dude, it's a more, I don't know, his style plus that beat,
it doesn't make sense to me.
dog.
He doesn't make sense to me. His success. It was just what it was, man.
It's a collective effort of Cash Money
Girl,
Records,
you look
man.
good. Like for real, like if you hear that shit in your mind, you really listen to it. It's just stupid.
I mean, the cherry on top too. This is an intro to for a lot of people, Lil Wayne too. Like
Yes.
Well, yeah,
was
well,
the
that's
after-
he's
he was
the face of that.
afterthought.
15,
Well, he's like the
16.
face of it.
On that track though, he was like the afterthought of that track.
And people went crazy every time I didn't get that shit. I'm sorry. It is kind of a mystical period.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's like, I couldn't believe how much people got down to it,
And
right?
he was on
it was
there
just
for-
more fun.
He was on there for like 15 seconds. Like it wasn't long at all.
And it, Drop It Like It's Hot ends up being this tone of phrase that everyone's
Right.
using.
He said drop it like that's the thing. He started coining like
But he like
things
changed
that.
the game with some dumbass quote like that.
That's
Dude.
crazy. Like
And
how?
the fact that the music video has a homegirl from My Cousin Skeeter's in there.
Yeah.
Is she? I
Yeah.
didn't notice that.
Megan
I didn't
Good.
notice that.
Yeah, she was real good in that.
What? I don't remember that she was
But
in there.
even
Dang, I'll
like
go back.
with the Bling Bling era itself, you just end up seeing Cash Money, and then the No Limit Soldiers decided like, hey, like we're kind of like that too. Like let's
but-
kind of try to find
And
our
then you got
lane
Mike
too.
Jones, Yin Yang Twins, Nelly tried to come on, Paul Wall.
It was like the South. It was like the South hitting. The South hit the lottery, and I think we all just felt like that was the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it
the
ended up being
South
their
hit-
own little gold rush.
Yeah, but it hit kind of ignorant, man. It didn't like, I don't know how to explain. I'm not speaking
Lil
down on
Jon,
it. It's
Lil
just the
Jon.
way it hit. It was just, it worked.
was-
But I do remember the tees, man. Everybody had a tee. Everybody had a t-shirt of some kind. And I just remember the snap shit, all the snap shit. Everybody's doing the snap. And then in Atlanta, it just was magnified. So that's just what it was, man. That's just what it was. So
Ice Age, the Ice Age.
Yeah, it was
Shock.
a crazy period, man. Yeah.
All right, so we'll go on to my 5 moments. My first one I'm going to pick
dope.
is, which am I going to go with? I'll go with Kendrick Lamar's deep fake video where it's 5 hearts. I thought that was a moment for sure. Just because I never seen, this was new technology coming out. He used the deep fake on his video. I think he won, did he get a Grammy for this album?
I don't know if I'm not sure entirely.
I believe he did get an award for this. But the brilliance, the way he was talking about, the current state of what it was like, where it was like almost like he was desensitized to it. Like, we weren't feeling things anymore, and just how bad it was. Like, he beautifully articulated this in a very lyrical way that was just amazing. It was brilliant. He brought up subjects and just by doing the face changes to OJ, I think he did Will Smith, to some, predominantly like just important figures. And it was just a a masterpiece. A masterpiece.
I got a breakdown on that song
Yeah.
and the music video on
Check
my
that
channel,
out.
The Lyricologist. It's about 50 minutes to an hour. You might watch 10 minutes of it. But the video itself, taps into, I mean, there's 3 verses. First verse is the common man. Second verse is like a richer man with more money. And the third verse is the exalted dead man. So the third verse is all the people that passed away. That's why, I'm in heaven, right? So just the whole video of how he utilized the deep fake to match all the lyrics. I think a lot of people just thought he was changing his face for no reason. But when you watch it, he's like, every lyric actually matches the face. So
To
when
me,
he's talking about Kanye, he's talking about like people switching up,
Yeah.
two-sided. And then Will, I think it was also a two-sided play. So the deep faking, I think, was disturbing as fuck, but it worked. It worked, man. It really worked. Like Kendrick pulled it off better. I don't think anybody else could pull it off like Kendrick did. Like I don't think Drake could do it.
Recently, Corday, did it with Juice WRLD recently on that the track they did like on Eminem's. I forgot what track it was. They recently did a music video on Eminem's old beat, Role Model, and he did a deep fake where he changes into Juice WRLD.
Oh shit!
It's a sick video.
Oh, yeah, send me that shit. I gotta see that one.
But that moment was just, I remember that being a big moment, like in hip hop. A lot of like YouTubers are talking about Andre, famously talked about it, because it was just something to marvel at. It really was. It's a modern day marvel for us. I mean, in recent times, and I just had to make a note of that as being a moment because it's not every so often that there's something that just captures everybody like that. It's hard these days because everybody's so fragmented, there's different mediums, it's like hard to get everybody in one spot focused on one thing. Kendrick Lamar was able to do that in these times. So I just wanted to make note of that. The second one was, I pulled up, it was a 19-year-old kid named D Soraki, who becomes a world champion in a Red Bull dance, freestyle world dance battle. I didn't know where our current state of like hip hop dance form was at. And I found it pleasing that it's still here. Like it's, and the dances that they're pulling off, man, it's just amazing.
Oh my God.
The moves. And, they're freestyling this. So this is not something like they practice to a certain song. They're hearing the song for the first time or just by random. And then they're just pulling off these moves almost like if they choreographed this and they didn't. Just watching this dude though, it was just something to really take in. Like this is a part of the hip hop family. Dancing is an art form that I think it's something that we need more of these days that we kind of lack, because people famously like Michael Jackson. I mean, when you have people like that who can do it in all forms, that shows you the true elevation of entertainment. And if we had some sort of rapper who also mastered the art of dance along with that,
in the combination to boom, but it's so hard.
It's so difficult.
Yeah.
Wow. It's so difficult to do that. I think Jaden Smith tried to tap into it a little bit. He did actually pretty well.
He's a great dancer. Yeah, he's
but
fucking incredible.
It's not easy to tackle that.
It's not easy to look cool and do it.
Because you wouldn't be able to, you'd have to, at one point, you'd have to make your verse coincide with what you're doing on stage.
Yeah.
But
they'll do something. They'll be like, I can make them wave when they pop and shit. Like they do moves like that. I don't know. There's a few battles. I like that you brought that up. Quick note while you're bringing up the new dance culture. If you guys go on YouTube, there's a company called World of Dance, or WOD, and they're grabbing the greatest dancers in the world and just putting them on stage and saying freestyle for us.
Sick.
So some of those people do unbelievable shit on that stage. And then there's a dance crew called Dragon House Dancers, or just Dragon House. And to me, they created a dance style called animation that I feel like it is hip hop. It's popping, locking, it's waving, it's dime stopping, it's mime, it's everything you can think of. They call it animation because it almost looks fake, and these guys are just next level to the point where I was like, they influence culture. When I see this group and other people know the group, everything these guys do, everybody tries to catch up with. Everybody should know Nonstop. There's this dancer named Nonstop that was on Ellen DeGeneres. He's like one of the top guys in the group, and they have completely shifted dance culture. Because at first it was pop and locking, right?
Right.
Now they're animation, like they're completely smooth now. They found some new movements. And then the new breakdancers, if you watch the newest breakdancing competition in the last 2-3 years, they are scaring me. They're like incredible.
Yeah.
How do you go from a head spin to a front flip? It doesn't even make sense. Yeah. Like off your head, you break your neck if you did that shit.
Yeah, it all starts from when Boogaloo Shrimp starts doing the broom dance in Breakin', which was really good, by the way. But then now we get to this level of like dudes are just don't even need props.
Dude,
guys are just looking real nice. And
Lay Twins, those guys are crazy.
And the cool part, it's always been rooted in hip hop. It's the early and one of the most deepest roots.
I know Soulja Boy kind of brought out the dance. He kind of brought out that. There was also point in time when Lil Jon and T-Pain were getting people to dance. Part of their music. Lil Baby, I think most recently in his music videos, he had the Jabberwockies. I think in one of them, the Jabberwockies are dope. Of course,
nice. Crazy.
So
nice.
I know that as long as it's around, man,
it's always hand in hand.
Yeah, to me, that's cool that it's around still because dance is a cool art form, man. So I thought that was most notable to add that in there. There was a dance that they danced to Beyonce's song like "Say My Name." Man. The person he was battling also brought it. So that just made it even that much, like it just raised the level.
Yeah.
Because his competitor brought it. And then that put him kind of on the hill where he was just like, oh, shoot, now I got to really bring it.
That freestyle dancing is tough, too.
It's
like us coming off the head with
Yeah.
rhymes, and these guys are just
exactly.
like, all right,
No,
what's next?
And they'll do shit like they'll be wearing hats. Like some cats wear loose clothing on purpose, so if it falls, they'll do a dance move. Like one guy, he danced, like his shoes are loose on purpose, right? So if the shoe comes off, he'll put his foot in it and flip it like a kickflip and catch it.
Yeah.
And then he did one thing where he put the shoe up, caught it with his elbow, flipped it on his head, flipped it back, and caught it behind his back and kept dancing. Swear to God. I was like, what are y'all doing, dude? They're just on a new level, man. Everybody just has some kind of technique. It looks like anime now. Like anything is possible.
All right, so I'll mention Harry Mack and Lean Freestyle.
Yeah.
I thought that was very cool as far as the freestyling scene is concerned. Already we've seen the rise of Harry Mack coming through with these freestyles that he's doing with everybody. He's on a lot of different social medias, just coming with videos and just bodying. Like
looks like he could do your taxes, but he rips you with the things off the head.
Can I do a freestyle for you guys? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna need your help.
Apothecary.
Oh my god.
Goldmeister. Like any three stupid words.
But
it
was special when him and Lean were in the same room because Lean really goes off. That made it even more special. And I thought, I never saw freestyling to be at that level, and so seeing it at that level inspired me. And then starting to hear of, cats who are freestyling albums, Andre was sharing that with me too. That started to really make me see things a little differently with freestyling, where freestyling could really go.
Oh my God.
So, and even we've been starting to freestyle every 5 episodes. So it's like, it's cool that now we're like, sharpening our swords in that way. Pause. But like, but it's
that was
cool.
fast, man. That was a good pass. That was a world record pause right there.
It's like he parried it all quick. Way to Aikido that shit.
But yeah, that's inspiring though to see that level of freestyling.
And like I mentioned every episode, it's always important to consider where people get their hip hop podcasts and realize if their hosts actually freestyle and talk about hip hop music. You always got to be considerate of that too.
That's right.
Because we know what the fuck we're doing.
It's a good point.
Man, I look at Harry Mack as like this guy. He's always the guy at the theoretical religious enlightenment guy at the top of the summit. Because you always aspire to be, great like that. If you try something, if you bring in a valiant effort to it, you always want to aspire to be as great as those guys. And we try, but it's always good to even watch the masters at work.
Dude, when him and Lean were going, Andre broke this down as well.
Oh yeah, I broke that down on Lyricologist. Check it out.
You can put all those
another hour long video.
That Kendrick joined in this one.
Another hour long video. But yeah, these guys are just because I freestyle with Lean. He's cool. Lean is dope. And he's just his way of designing a story on the spot is crazy. He can make a whole world really fast. And then Harry, it's like no matter what you do, he has a remedy for what you're doing, and he has a way to make it work. So
remedy in terms of what?
Like let's say I do a double time flow, right? Hibbity bibbity, hibbity bibbity, hibbity bibbity. He's like, oh, okay, I can hit it. Bibbity bibbity, bibbity bibbity. He'll do exactly what you did.
God.
He's right behind you.
He's like Taskmaster.
Right, yeah, he's just like Taskmaster, exactly. So I really appreciate Harry on that regard, because as Lean moves faster, Harry just matches him, and then they just go really good, like really fast. Harry got my respect after the 10-hour freestyle. He did a 6-hour freestyle, and then a 7, then an 8. Then a 9, and I was like, okay, he's good. And he did a 10. I'm like, hell no.
Yeah, I remember when
No
Super
fucking
Nat
way.
did that. When Super Nat did that at Rock the Bells 06, I was just like, dude, this is as good as it gets. And then when I see people go longer and longer and longer, I was like, good Lord.
10 hours though?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's nuts.
And really Harry macking it though, like really doing a great job.
To even have that level of stamina, because at the end of that, your brain is like, just picture food on the walk.
Yeah.
This shit's on fire, getting
his
sauteed and shit.
Like, his freestyles also come with punchlines. Like,
Yeah.
It's just amazing. It's amazing the way he's able to set it up in real time before he gets to it. He performed in front of Tom Brady recently. Performed in front of Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, that was nice.
He's performed in front of Kendrick Lamar even.
Soldier Boy, even so, I gotta sign him right
No,
now.
I think
Yeah,
it's more.
Soulja Boy, I
I
gotta
think it's
sign him
more
right now.
important. I think it's more important that Soldier Boy saw Harry Mack freestyle.
I saw him first. That's all he's gonna say. He's gonna say saw him first. He's like, no, but as soon as Harry Mack's done freestyle, he's like, I gotta sign you right now. Like, oh, come on, man.
All right, so let's see. I got my next one is The Roots becoming the hip hop band for the late night show.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay,
I thought that was a big important moment. Never seen that ever happen. And The Roots, I mean, they bring a hip hop element to the show, which Jimmy Fallon's a fan of. And I mean, you have Black Thought as like, and Questlove, like.
Dude, do you feel like it brought the value of the Roots up? Like we take the Roots very seriously because we have them. I think that really like shows our importance. Or the importance of hip hop in general. You know?
You imagine Johnny Carson, and of course, my band tonight, NWA.
Before, I think that raised the elevation, or that raised the bar for. It raised the bar for late night bands, because before that the bands were great, but you didn't really know who they really were unless you were. I know maybe were into it that deep.
Letterman's or Jay Leno's homeboy, the bald dude with the little glasses. He's still alive and effect, isn't he?
I believe so, but he was dope.
But
he was dope.
I don't know the name of the band, but I know that the Roots. The fun fact that you get, like, there's a ride over in Universal Studios Orlando. It's a ride in NYC with Jimmy Fallon, but to do the safety instructions, Black Thought. Black Thought does the safety instructions, like, make sure you buckle up with the seat in the hands. And then, like, dude, it's so fucking cool. It's like the ride is, I'm indifferent about the ride, but like to get, Jimmy introduces the Roots on there, and then he's all like, with the safety instruction, we decided to spice up and give you Black Thought. It's like, everyone keep your hands aside to the place. Like, it's so fucking cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, I thought that was an important moment, man, for the Roots to get a gig like that. It just shows you, like, we're in here, like, so it's just dope.
That's good. That's cool that you mentioned that, man. That like was not in my, that wasn't in my mind.
I would have thought of that, but as soon as you said it, I was like, yeah,
that's cool, man.
Yeah.
My last one is just for my own, my own giggles. I mean, I always come back to this. How, Sway? But Kanye, all you gotta do is put a little money there. How, Sway? You don't got the answer, Sway. You don't got the answers.
Just take a step back.
If you just put a little money into it, you ain't got the answer, Sway. It's just so classic and iconic Kanye, man. I just love that moment where he just gets heated, like just turns up on Sway in the morning, like Sway, like,
it's
the nicest dude. Like,
guys,
that's
supposed to be eating breakfast at this time. Sway.
Like imagine being in the
7
car
in the
though.
morning.
Imagine being in the car though. And he's like wilding. It's like that's all you hear is the audio.
You would
don't
not
see
want to
him.
get off and go to work if
Exactly.
if that's on you. You're late.
I got you. I thought about it like that too. Like, okay, it turned out to get like super memed out, right?
Yeah.
And I learned something about Drake Drake made something. He didn't necessarily say this, but he did say it. He's like, memes are powerful. Like, you need them. Memes like work perfectly.
Yeah.
So it's like when Ye got memed, it just made hip hop culture more interesting. It was just like a wrestler moment, right? It's just like a wrestler blacking, right?
Yeah.
You know, just blacking on historic figure and acting a fool, man. And every time I see that shit, I just go, how do you even know what Ye's thinking right now? Like, how do you even get into that mindset? Like, why did you show up?
Or I'll
Why
say
did you go?
even almost any Ye interview is just crazy. Like, you know, he was wilding out on Ellen. I think he was wilding on some other ones. Like, I am a god. Like,
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
I told you who I was.
Or when he was on when he was on Punk'd and he stole the film footage from
yeah,
that dude,
he's like, nah, I'm
he
kidding.
thought it was for real. Like, we gotta seize your footage. CIA's there. He's like, forget it. Like, I'll get a felony. Instant 10 years. He was down for it. Down for his music though.
Down
That's
for
like
his
one of the
music.
signs.
Didn't
man.
give a fuck. Yeah, I shout out to Ye, man.
I just love everything, man. He's like such an icon, man. Such an icon. He makes things so interesting. It's just like it was just a moment in time where it's just like Sway,
Yeah.
like how Sway.
I love
You
how
ain't got the answer, Sway.
I love how in 2020 he's like, after they said, well, so how do you feel about
yeah.
Sway now? He's like, Sway does have the answers.
he
What
has
the
the
hell?
answers. He has the
He does
Just
have
for the
answers.
trolling.
Sway does have the answers.
One of my favorite
Fuck Ye. I hate you, man. You're so stupid.
After all that,
After all that drama, like almost killed him.
Yeah.
Almost killed him on the radio. It was just like, now, Ye just like, yeah, he did have the answers.
and you know what's funny is like Charlemagne tried to get him. Charlemagne tried to like poke at him to try to get him to like have an outburst. He was so poised. It was just like,
Well, you know you're about to be sitting next to Charlemagne. That's why. He said, well, your last name's the God.
oh yeah, he backfired on us. Like,
Yeah.
you're the god, right?
Wait, you're the God, right?
right?
Remember when Charlemagne talked to Magic about all those chicks? He's like, you probably knew with one of them chicks. Like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get it with her. And Magic's like trying to keep PR. Like, but I think the funniest moment that I had with it's related with Kanye in it is the Kobe Bryant commercial where he talks about the mentality. He's like,
yeah.
you always want to hit the peak and then go to the apex.
What are you talking about, Kobe Bryant?
He's like,
I'm already the best.
he's like, but you want more. We're like, oh damn,
You want to
like
be a different animal?
Yeah.
But the same beast?
the same peak.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's like even having someone like Kanye, like I want more.
Yeah,
It's
to
like-
see
but
Kanye
it's
and
but it's like Kobe to be
yeah.
like, yeah, you can get more. There's the apex, and then he had a graph that shows something higher than that. I was like, damn. Tony Robbins is getting this like motivational hard on. Like, oh my god, there's more after the peak. Like it's just this, it's the peak, and then it dimes out to more.
That's tight.
Hilarious.
That was a good memory.
More accomplishments.
Yeah.
All right, so now
More albums, right?
Yeah. You always want more.
I'm already the best.
all right, so now let's get into our top five
Our
bars.
the five top hip hop balls.
Our
Biggie's
five
balls
top
first.
bars / punchlines, whatever it is. Let's get into it. Who wants to go first on this one? Dre?
I'm not mine now. Mine are kind of typical almost. I was listening to a whole bunch of songs and realistically, I was like, it's going to be fucking hard. I can't do this shit.
Yeah, it was pretty tough.
One bar out of this whole, man, forget that. So, yeah, and of course, Nothing But a G Thing. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre's at the door. Everybody in the world knows that. Oops, sorry. Everybody in the world knows that. I slapped the mic, my bad.
Yep.
Everybody in the world knows this one. Everybody knows this one. All my family members know this one. This one is just iconic for everyone. It hits me in my soul, and it's culturally relevant to me. I just feel like everybody recognizes these lines. New York State of 9, I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. I just felt like that's one of those lines that we use repeatedly. It's an anchor in hip-hop. I feel like this speaks more on how poetic people could have been in that period of time and really just push rap lines forward. I used to love her. I met this girl when I was 10 years old, and what I love most, she had so much soul. That one was special, especially just to get the ball rolling for such a beautiful story. The real Slim Shady. Will Smith don't got to cuss in his rap to sell records. Well, I do, so fuck him and fuck you too. I just think that shit is funny. No, because it's like, this shit don't even rhyme, bro. Like it's just like a straight Will Smith don't got to cuss in his rap to sell records, and he doesn't rhyme with that at all. He doesn't rhyme with records in any way.
It's just a point he wanted to make.
Well, I do. So fuck him and fuck you too. Think I give a damn about a gram? Anyway, so and then I got this one from Daylight, which was in a rap battle, but I would have done all rap battle lyrics here, but I wanted to stick with rap culture songs. Daylight did a scheme that was so dope, but the punchline is, you can get the open hand, the fist, or the deuces. Rock, paper, scissors. So wait, but he does it perfectly. You can get the open hand. I don't know how you did, but you can get the open hand. He did it perfect. Oh yeah, the open hand, the fist, or the deuces. Sorry, the deuces. Rock, paper, scissors. So it was crazy. He did it perfectly. It was one of the most iconic like moments in that battle. It was Daylight versus Chilla Jones, and that was like real quick. Daylight usually fucks his battles up with a gimmick or does something really fucked up, like and just like does anything, man.
Some Carrot Top shit.
Yeah, some Carrot Top shit. He'll just do anything, man. Like he'll just start like rapping and say fuck this shit and like power bomb the host. I swear to God, he really did this. Oh wait, he stone cold stunned the host, like for real.
Shit.
So he was rapping to do. He's like, I'm not even gonna get paid for this battle, and he just stone cold stunned the host and just left. And that was the end of the battle. But anyway, so yeah, this was the one battle he actually really tried to battle. He was really doing a great job. But yeah, you can get the open hand, the fist, or the deuces, rock, paper, scissors, and that shit just blew up the whole building. Everybody went crazy.
I like there's this one that's
something so typical, rock, paper, scissors, to be a gun line.
The one that really got me as a kid, like when I used to buy a bunch of hip hop DVDs.
Yeah.
This one bootleg freestyle DVD, and then like their whole like timestamp was like featured in HD. Dog, this dude in this battle captivated the whole crowd in one. I think he was Murder Mook. It had to have been Murder Mook. But he was all like, he says, this is something to like how much of a simp this dude is to his chick. And he's all like, you probably be like the bar of soap and leave her 2,000. And just, oh, dude, it was so dope. I was just like, oh, man.
Yeah,
that was so sick.
That's weight, baby.
What about the rest of them, bro?
Oh, I'm good. I only have 5.
Yeah,
that was all 5 of them. Yeah, that was it. I knocked them all out. Damn. That was my 5.
All right, you want me to go or you?
I'll go. That way it rounds it back to the host at the end. So my 5, impactful to me. Again, this is my whole thing. It's kind of crazy that we both have the Nas on The World Is Yours, but the intro line that I had. Let me see. I have it. It's the Thieves theme. Play me at night, they don't act. The Thieves theme. Play me at night, they won't act right. The fiend of hip hop has got me stuck like a crack pipe.
Yeah. Yes.
That one from The World Is Yours.
Yes.
Beats amazing. It's again. This is young Nas sweeping,
crushing
our
our pins at his age.
I'm gonna say the rhyme, and y'all already know who it is. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to. Think of how many weak shows you slept through. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you. Rakim, I know you got soul. Then I have, man, this album, I've mentioned it plenty of times before. Dumb It Down's intro 4 bars are almost perfect. There's so many levels and layers you could go with this. I'm fearless. Now hear this. I'm earless and I'm peerless, which means I'm eyeless, which means I'm tearless, which means my iris resides where my ears is, which means I'm blinded.
Yes.
Dog. Dumb It Down's a super impactful
and the
song.
flow on that shit too. The flow on that shit.
And dude, even going down in the idea of this song came at a pivotal time where we were like, hey, do we really want to keep with this, with what's going on with hip hop? Lupe brought a little, let's just do another Dragon Ball Z reference, I guess, right? You remember the time TN had to hold down Cell? Right. And all he had was his power. He had to hold him down for a little bit, literally had his moment. This is where Lupe had it. Lupe had his moment where he was able to do this because not a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on the cool,
right?
Much like I do, but it got overshadowed by the Carter 3. So that was the moment. Yeah. That's what I felt. Dumb It Down was like, man, this music video is important, the song's important, and the album was fantastic. But it was just that brief moment of like, man, Dumb It Down was cool. Like Dumb It Down was really cool. So yeah. Next is, let me go with, this one. Talib Kweli, Twice in a Lifetime. it's like this. Let me see where I got it. I have it. Oh, yes. I have to do the bars in the beginning. Says, like a squeegee, we be lighting shit up like phosphorus, turning flamboyant, anonymous, depressed into optimist. You stopping us is preposterous like an androgynous misogynist. You picking the wrong time, stepping to me when I'm in my prime like Optimus. Dude, that bar is, at that point when I heard it, I've never just stopped a dope track and rewinded a bar probably 15 to 20 times. And keep in mind, you're still dealing with Wordsworth, Jane Doe, Mos Def, Punchline, but you end up hearing, you stopping us is preposterous like an androgynous misogynist. You picking the wrong time, stepping to me when I'm in my prime like Optimist. You find two words like androgynous misogynist, someone that dresses like a chick but hates women.
Right.
It's really, it's like so perfect. I like that bar so much. And then my final one with Moment of Clarity. You end up finding out Jay-Z's Moment of Clarity song why he doesn't turn it up lyrically. And this is important because you end up finding out like, hey, look, like I'm blatantly admitting this, that I can be at this level, but I'd rather not. It's going to be like this. Where was it? I think I have it off the head. It's like, truthfully, I want to rhyme like common sense, but I made $5 million. I haven't been rhyming like common sense.
Oh, that line is sick.
And he's like, when your sense got that much in common and you've been hustling since, your inception, fuck perception, go with what makes sense. So it can go with sense or with actually what makes you sense. That was impactful. Yeah, those are my 5. Those
deadly.
Trust me, it's the reason. It's like the reasons why, like the Black Album, Rakim. Yeah, these are all pivotal, pivotal, man.
That's a strong list, man.
All right, so my first one I'll go with Eminem, and it's a track called "Till Hell Freezes Over" unreleased.
Oh, okay.
So unreleased, Till Hell Freezes Over. The hook goes like, I be living this hip hop till hell freezes over. Yeah. Over. I be living this hip hop till hell freezes over. I'm going to build up to the line. And it says, yo, I'm into voodoo, tarot cards, and Ouija boards. Lighting candles, camping out at haunted beach resorts. I write dark and rap about perverted violence. Ghost stories of people murdered on deserted islands. Oh.
Yeah,
here's the bar. Dressed in jean shorts, high tops, and tube socks, holding a rifle with the life full of drama like Tupac.
Oh, yeah.
And then this is the one I just like. Jumping off rooftops, drunk after I do shots, landing in someone's backyard, getting chewed up by two rots. I just thought that bar right there.
But like two rot. Like,
yeah, once it hit that, I was just like, oh shit! Like this guy that's a classic Eminem. Like you could just picture the imagery of him just being all, doing
he makes it look so easy.
Yeah, he makes it sound natural, man.
That's I think that's one of his best like verses ever as well.
Yeah.
But that bar right there, I just thought that was funny. It's a classic like Eminem type of bar. My second one is going to be from Inspected Deck. And it's going to be on a track actually that doesn't exist. He didn't get featured on. Tupac, I guess, cut him on the Got My Mind Made Up on his album. He cut Inspected Deck's verse off because it was that good. Like Tupac was just like, nah.
I can't lose like this.
And Inspected Deck, he says, I set the mic in flames. My name's INS the Rebel. Murder one style. Smash mind states to pebbles. Mental terrorist. Specialist at this. Menacing lyricist. Leave crews defenseless. Hand design landmines, lick off like nines to paralyze everything. Ears ring like door chimes. Head starts to turn like police who pass. Hear the blast, my crew rush through like tear gas. F the mask, we lace the place like marshals. Sparkle like diamonds, but harmful as car fumes. Reckless rhyme start, relentless ruckus. I effed up the party for you paying mother effers. Once I commence for you ladies and gents, I kick rhymes sharper than barbed wire fence. The live and direct, the Killer Hill Project, Staten Island, New York. You can help but the hawk. Here it goes right here. Lay it on you gentle. That's if you want it hostile. Sounds so underground, I write my rhymes on fossils. That bar right
You gotta
there.
dig them up. So you gotta dig up the fossil and then line all the. Then you gotta connect the bones just for the rhyme to make sense.
What was Pac thinking? Like, I think having Inspector Deck's a good feature, and it won't be intimidating at all.
And then as soon as he hears the verse, he's just like, hey, let me see that. Just delete it.
Cut him off.
Delete it.
He cuts the reel of it, eats the fucking tape of it. Never again.
Now, it is available to us now because somebody has put it back onto the track on YouTube, of course.
Of course.
So if we want to listen to it, it's called Got My Mind Made Up. Inspector Deck, Tupac. Listen to it.
That's dope, man.
It's a dope verse.
I didn't even know.
So underground, he's writing his bars on fossils. I love that.
My third one is Immortal Technique. Immortal Technique on a track called Industrial Revolution. He goes, the bling bling era was cute, but it's about to be done. I leave you full eclipse like the moon blocking the sun. My metaphors are dirty like herpes, but harder to catch. Like an escape tunnel from prison, I started from scratch. And now these parasites want 1% of my ass cap. Trying to control perspective like an acid flashback. But here's a quotable for every single record except, get your effing hands out my pocket like Malcolm X. That was hard.
Yeah.
That was hard. That was a hard bar.
Ugly. That's ugly.
That was another one that like just
Immortal's hard though.
changed
Yeah,
me.
Immortal is
man.
hard, man. He's just always like, by the end of an Immortal verse, it's like, man, I need to do better. I need to join a refugee camp.
I need to defect to Cuba.
Yeah.
I need to defect to Cuba.
My next one is going to be Big L.
Yeah.
Big L. This is the 98 freestyle. 98 freestyle. Yo, F all the glamour and glitz. I plan to get rich. I'm from New York and never was a fan of the Knicks. And all about the expanding my chips. You mad because I was a fan of your both hands. Corleone hold the throne. You know it in your heart. I got style plus the way I be flowing the shop. A while back I used to hustle, selling, blow in the park. Counting G stacks and rocking ice that flow in dark. Forever hot and hunting. Forever hottie hunting. Trigger temper, I'm quick to body something. You looking at me and I'm probably fronting. I F around and throw your 3 in the chest and flee to my rest. My older and smarter, this is me at my best. I stopped hanging around y'all because again, praying for my downfall. Hopping I flop, hopping I stop. You probably even hope I get locked or be the street corner with the pipe smoking the rock. I got more riches than you, F more ittens than you. Only thing I got is more stitches than you. F punk, you ain't a leader. What? Nobody followed you. You were never ish. Your mother should have swallowed you. Ooh, that was hard. But that's not it. That's not the bar though. But that one was hard. You want some tag along? Funk like yes man. Yeah. Do me a favor, please get off the next man's. If you think I can F whoever, put your money up. You put your jewels up. No effort. Put your honey up. Put your raggedy house up. Shut up. You shut your mouth. Better before I buck lead and make a lot of bloodshed. Turn your tux red. I'm far from broke. Got you enough bread. I got mad hoes. Ask Beavis. I get nothing but head. He went berserk.
How you gonna read the whole verse?
I just had to get the build up. The build up to that though, like, is just nuts.
Bobito and Stretcher just like, what?
And it was like the first time you ever heard that line, right? And it was like, what?
It just slipped like all of a sudden.
Mad hoes. That's Beavis. I get nothing but head.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Now, I see how you cultivated it for yourself.
Yeah, Big L was nice, man.
Yeah, Big L, man. He was sick with it. Like, to this day, that sticks in my head all the time.
I like the one where he says
Workplace
he's
shit,
all
man.
like, he's like, I never beg for pussy like Keith Sweat. He says it in a previous bar. He just says like, I never beg for pussy like Keith Sweat. Oh man.
My last one is Nas, and it's the one where he says to Jay-Z, I rock hoes, y'all rock fellas.
Damn.
My honorable mention was Sticky for your Vanguard Award in front of your moms, your first, second, and third born. Make your wife get on the horn, call Minister Farrakhan. Get him to squash it. I said, nah, he started it. He forgot what a hardcore artist is. Yay!
Oh, man.
I need to do more lines, man. All mine were basic compared to what you guys had, man.
Nah,
That was just the one that came to mind. I wanted to put that one up, but it was just like, I don't know, second round KO as a song, the diss. I want to we ever do diss tracks like that, that has to be one we got to dissect a little bit more than we did on the overall review that we did for Can I Buzz.
Yeah, man.
Hip hop 50 years, bro.
Yeah, 50 years, man.
It's
I'm just loving it, man. I'm fully enjoying like where it's at, and then like it's going to be interesting where it's going.
Yeah.
You know? That's going to be the interesting thing, because we got a lot of new technology out, and you know, hip hop is evolving constantly. So it's just going to be interesting to see how it evolves now with what we got.
1,000 years from now, the new battles are going to be like 001 001
It's projecting images.
Yeah. Binary. It's all binary. People just code. People just code their battles.
I picture just
The
telepathy.
AIs are rapping
I
against
just picture like telepathy.
Oh,
just
damn, we
pure
got to go back to that
telepathy.
AI philosophy.
Pure telepathy. This is a rap battle. You're just thinking it, and it's just battling.
But
like,
I think I want images to pop up on a screen or a projector.
On some Demolition Man shit. Remember when Stallone and Homegirl were in the thing?
Oh yeah.
But both of them battling each other, like some dude's nose starts bleeding.
Nose is bleeding, eyes roll to the back of the head.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Andre kind of experienced a little the Inception kind of concept when you go into the
dream
VR world to battle.
Oh yeah.
Andre's done a little bit of that. That's interesting too.
It's awesome actually. It's really funny, man.
So
it's a funny world.
It's gonna be interesting, man.
I mean, real quick, just small. I don't use VR a lot. There's no time anymore. But there is a rap culture in VR. It's weird. Yeah, it's real, like real legitimate rappers. Or even Hobson hops in here and there and jumps around and just freestyles with people.
That's dope.
I think Lil Wayne, he hops in there secretly. Snoop Dogg's been in there secretly. They just kick it in there and watch people rap. Like, because there's
so dope.
There's like a studio just like this. They could literally make this in virtual reality. Yeah. They have real mics, and we could rap or we could record.
Start real VR beef.
NFTs. That's another piece to the puzzle that you could
sell albums as NFTs.
That's going to be different. AI technology is going to be different with deep fake video technology is going to be different.
Yeah, I think we should cut to that one part where I end up saying that AI may get self-aware and become like the ultimate MC.
Ultimate rapper.
We're going to have a cell.
There's
Android 18.
Hey, Lupe he has a video out right now on his channel where he writes a song with AI. Lupe does it. Just to kind of, I guess,
Wait, doesn't AI write the song?
No. Okay, so what he's doing is instead of letting AI write the song, he's like asking treating it like a calculator now.
He's partnering with Google. He's partnering with Google to work on tools for MC.
To songwriting. Yeah,
to songwrite.
Presenting the Google mic. It does the rapping for you.
Well, because it's like, okay, give me 10 affiliations to a cup of water, right? Because the song he's writing is about a cup of water for the AI. So he's like, AI, just give me metaphorical ideas for a cup of water. And he gave it like 10.
You know what's interesting? You know what's interesting is like I was testing out ChatGPT. From my use of it, like it's not great at rhyming. Like I've been putting it to the test. Yet I've been putting it to the test, and right now, currently, it's not there. But I'm just it's going to be a matter of time. Like you said,
2024, ChatGPT becomes self-aware, becomes the ultimate MC.
Rap GPT. It's now Rap GPT.
Rap GPT. Dragon Ball GPT.
instead of Dr. Giro, Dr. Dre Rowe. Dr. Dre Rowe decided to join AI to make the ultimate producing rapping combo.
Dre I, you have to deal with Dre I. With Dr. Dre Rowe.
Dude, Dr. Dre takes his neural network inside a hard drive to become the ultimate producer mixed with ChatGPT.
Yeah, I can see that.
Dude, these philosophies are like, remember when That's Hip Hop predicted AI hip hop?
We're like
the real cell games.
We're like the Simpsons. So like, we were talking about in the last episode a little bit, like we were talking about where it was going to go. What do you think, like, what do you envision it going, Mark? We'll pass this question around.
Yeah. Like I briefly mentioned in the first part of this episode, I'm going to be curious to see how beats end up becoming I want to see how the beats that end up passing the 100-year mark and become actual public domain, how those are going to get sampled. To like do a retouch on, like, imagine someone chops up grinding again, like grinding, or someone chops up like a bunch of beats from the 90s and brings them back, you know, just redoing things. Think about it as like a reboot of sorts, but on a different level, like just not remaking the beats, but taking a fresh coat of paint to a beat
And doing it
with those samples from there, because you can legally do it now after the 100-year mark. There'd be no trademarks to that. Yeah,
It's pretty brilliant.
You know, recently Elton John, I think he had his songs like, you know, protected at first, but then he realized like, no, I should leave it open. And then Tiny Down, I don't know what song it was. Tiny Dancer was one of the songs, but all of a sudden people started remixing it and came out with these beautiful songs, like dope songs, like sampling his work. And like you see like what comes out of just doing that.
dude.
So
Whoever
crazy.
makes a beat out of that beginning part of Benny and the Jets, the dun 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 dun.
That'd be sick.
Dude, and the thing that sucks about it, it's live. So no one has like a direct like
Yeah.
Benny and the Jets always was just live. I'm like, damn. Imagine making a beat off of the dun 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 dun.
What about you, Dre? What do you think?
From what I'm seeing right
50
now,
years.
it's making music will become faster and faster and faster, to the point where people could probably make an album reasonably in an hour, like really do it,
And a very sound
and
one.
a sound
one,
one, like a good quality album in a small amount of time. So I think the technology is going to get quicker. The production techniques are going to get easier, because I'm already seeing, you know, arcade and you know, the track lib, like everything's already fucking chopped up for you now. Everything's already ready to go. So I really do feel like the process for everything's going to be faster. There might even get to some point where we have technology to where, because I've already seen like a prototype. This one guy, he designs, he's like an inventor, and he happened to hop into the Cypher on Discord, and he had this device on his head, and the device is literally just spitting out words that he's thinking about.
Oh man.
And he's developing this he didn't say it was AI, but he's just developing this tech that can read, you know, it has to sit on your head like Neuralink or some shit like that. And it determines what you're thinking, and it really wrote his shit for him. And he was doing like a testing of it. So I was like, the idea alone that's there means there are probably 50 or 60 other people that are going to completely just take that to another level.
Fully put their claws in it, you know.
And it might not be as cool or even, you know, authentic or organic as where we started from, but it's going to be there. I know it's going to be there because we're still using those tools. So I think more the tools, you know, in short, it's going to be faster. And hopefully we get super lyricists like, you know, the next level of M and Kendrick and Daylight to use this technology, Cambadas and those guys, and find ways to make very unique storytelling. And the last thing, I think there's going to be a visual component for everything. So you could just put a beat into a program and it's going to give you a beautiful visualizer with the words. I think that'll be normal. And
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the ease of making an album.
Like as fast as you can edit this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Doop.
Right.
Imagine you could chop a sample that fast, you know?
So for the people who don't know, like, you know, editing this podcast, it was during a time when this technology just came out for AI, where now it's like, before I was sitting there, you know, cutting our frames by frames, now AI is doing the frames cutting. That's
in mere minutes,
which took, before it took like a full day pretty much to do that in minutes. So yeah, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'll see it in 50 years. I think definitely there's going to be a lot more like odd sub raps going on. Like we'll see, you know, different, like maybe a gothic type of rap or something just weird, different type of rap style. Like we'll see all different sort of rap styles that
denominations
that we're not even thinking about yet. I think there'll be a lot more branches and sub branches off of that. And maybe it might even spark up a new type of genre. I don't know, of music that we're not even aware of yet that could even come about.
What's the next component?
I'm gonna go ahead.
What's the next component though?
Go ahead and trademark Marilyn Rapsin and Rap Not, just in case.
Rap Not is stupid. Rap Not.
Definitely, we'll probably see some other big artists in other countries. You know, right now I know that there's people on TikTok that are like killing it in other languages, but I haven't yet seen like a superstar out of another country.
Yeah,
So maybe that might be something that might come up.
I can see that. Multifaceted, can rap in multiple languages.
Yeah, oh, that'd be crazy too.
Or maybe like some kind of, I don't know. I think they could figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
And if they get weird about it, they can make like a Backstreet Boys rap group, and one raps in English, one raps in Japanese, one raps in Spanish.
That'd be nuts.
How do we even enjoy this shit? Right?
The variety pack of hip hop. Pick your flavor.
We don't know what they'll do, you know?
Yeah.
But I do expect more. I'm pretty sure they'll have AI companion rappers, maybe. Shit like that, technology stuff. I'm thinking more tech is going to be involved. After I saw the Lupe video, I felt a little more comfort just seeing Lupe trying to embrace AI before people get scared of it. So I think that works.
I'm so thankful he's taking a part in that.
Yeah, and he really is trying to get ahead of it. I think it's better to have Lupe at the helm. Maybe because he wants his mind in there. So who knows, like trying to beat people and shit, So it works out, though. I think it's going to be more technically savvy.
He's just going to be the first sacrifice. Is like the AI takes over. It's like, oh, no,
So
Lupe's the first soldier.
He makes himself the Neo.
Yeah. What was it? It was like when in the beginning of Mars Attacks where that dude frees the dove. And then all of a sudden the Martian's like, hell no, fuck that.
It triggers everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, great talking with you guys on this.
Man.
Cheers
Love
to
hip-hop,
50
man.
years of hip hop and to another 50 years.
It's brought us, it's cliche in the event to say that hip hop saved my life type of thing. But you know what? I've never found an outlet like hip hop music to express myself during a time where I had poetic thoughts.
Yeah.
But at this time, I am glad I found this avenue because I don't feel there would have been any other way for me to express myself. And I love every bit of it. And it's brought out a lot of cool artistic avenues for me. It made me comfortable with public speaking. It made me comfortable with being on a microphone all the time. Like this is just
natural.
This is just this is just every Thursday.
Yeah.
But I love it to death, man. And it's brought me to a new place of awareness. I love it.
Yeah, man. I couldn't have said it better, man. Peace to hip hop. Peace to you guys. The demo disc. Catskill Calamity.
When are we gonna break down that?
Catskill Calamity, like.
Yeah. Shout out to Kinetics, Lyrical Kamikazes. Rest in peace, Manifest. Love you to death, Nevitt. Rest in peace. Man, we got
a lot of
dude.
A lot of fallen soldiers, but we carry on the torch, man. And for everybody listening, we thank you guys for joining us. Remember, we have Lyricology 101. We have look up Andre's breakdowns, man. We just talked about some of the topics he touched on. Look up those breakdowns. Yeah. He's doing his thing on YouTube. Been doing his thing actually for years already. Yeah. So check him out and everything he's doing. We got the El Notorious Pin going on, the Kingpin himself, Mark Flores.
Pin. We're coming out with some hip hop related pins real soon. For all you aspiring rappers out there that need a pin.
Fire.
Yeah. Maybe something along the lines, man.
All right, Mark, man. Close us out with the line, man.
To the MCs, if you drop a mic, drop a like. Oh, we battle you.
We battle you. You mad at you.
Be like Martians and turn you into cattle stew.
Call your dad on
your corpses. Entrails, it never fails.
Peace to the gods, man.
Peace to all the guys.